All right, we are going to solve some of these exponential equations, and they are called exponential equations because notice the x is always in the exponent. So on every single one of them. And then I'll do another video for logarithmic functions, okay? Anytime you want to get the x out of the exponent, you want to take the log of both sides. So in this case, we can either use the natural log or the common log. And let me just say that is the letter L if you're going to type it in. There is a function key on WebAssign. So you can actually just hit those and I'll do it for you. But notice down here, if the base is E, when we get down here, you will have to use the natural log right there. Or it definitely makes it so much easier. But here, I'll show you both ways. So let's just try the common log first. So if I take the log of both sides, so what you do to one side, you do to all, okay? Log is a function. What this function does is it lets you bring the exponent out front. So what you have here is x log of 4 equals the log of 15. Now realize this says x times, so I want to get the x by itself, so I divide both sides by the log of 4. So this would be my answer. Notice that cancels right there. X equals this. This would be my exact answer. Okay, now that you could also have done it with the natural log, you would still get the same answer. So whether you type this answer in, either one of these, WebAssign will count it right. And try it on your calculator, you're going to get the same thing. So I'm going to show you real quick on the calculator. Again, if you have this fraction button, I love it. Makes it so much easier. But look, here's the log button. And if I do the log of 15, and sorry, I'm going to have to back out so I can actually see it all over, and then I'm going to do the log of 4, and then the log of 4, and there's my answer, 1.9534. So I'm going to do that. So this is the approximate answer with 4 decimal places, okay? Now notice right here, I use the common log. Let's try it again just real quick on this one problem, and let's see if I get the same answer using the natural log. So it was the log of 15 over the natural log. Be consistent. You can't use the common log on the top and the natural log on the bottom. That won't work. And what was it? The natural log of 4. And notice I get the exact answer. 1.9534, okay? So use whichever one floats your boat. All right, so let's come over here. And again, on this one, just for kicks, I'll use the natural log. Again, use either one you want. When you do that, it tells me I can bring this exponent out front. So I have x plus 1. I'm going to put that in parentheses. The natural log of 6 equals the natural log of 4. Now, I think there's 2 ways you could do this, okay? I think your book, typically you want to, let me just do this. You distribute, my cat's getting ready to jump up here and he's gonna get in trouble. But all I did was I took the natural log of 6 times both of these. So there's x times the natural log of 6, and then the log of 6 times 1 just gives me that. Okay, then I'm gonna move this to the other side. So the opposite of adding is subtracting. So I would have this minus the natural log of 6. And this says x times, so the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I would divide by the natural log of 6. So that would be my answer right there, okay? So that would be one way to do it. Another way, you could show it, and the calculator, WebAssign, the computer, excuse me, will give you the same answer regardless, okay? Now, honestly, remember when we got to this part right here? I'm going to rewrite it right here. This is x plus 1 times the natural log of 6. I could have divided both sides by the natural log of 6 immediately. Okay, so now I have x plus 1 equals the natural log of 4 over the natural log of 6. I want to get x by itself, so I'd subtract 1 from both sides. So I personally like this answer better. This is the same thing. Look, there's the natural log of 4 over the natural log of 6, which is what I have. And here's the minus sign. There's the minus sign. And when you have the same thing over the same thing, you get 1. So WebAssign should take either one, okay? Now, Hopefully you can crunch this into your calculator. I would do your fraction symbol and do exactly what you see. And again, you could have had the common log here. It would look exactly the same, but you would have an LOG in all these places instead of an LN. Okay, so I'm not going to take as much time with each of these. Once again, we're going to take the natural log or the common log of both sides. This tells me I can bring my exponent down front. So I'm going to do that. So I have x minus 1 times the natural log of 5, 3x times the natural log of 2. So it just brings that down front. Now, this is one term. This one, let's just go ahead and distribute. That gives me x times the natural log of 5 minus the natural log of 5. Now, here's the deal. Anything with x's we want it on one side. So I'm going to bring this guy over here to be with his friend that has the x. It's positive on this side, so when I bring it over here, it's going to be minus. And then I'm going to move this to this side. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. Okay, he doesn't have any x's, so I left him over there. Now, you want to solve for x, so I'm going to factor out my x. So that leaves me with the natural log of 5 minus, you're just taking an x out of both of these, 3 times the natural log of 2 equals the natural log of 5. This says x times, so I would just divide both sides by that. And this is just kind of ugly, isn't it? Minus 3 times the natural log of 2. Those cancel. That right there should be your answer. Again, I would hit it in exactly like this. This is your exact answer. You would hit it in exactly like that. And I can show you this one just real quick if you want. Let's put this calculator super close to it so maybe we can see it. I would start with my fraction button, and maybe I need to turn it on. That would always help. So I'm going to go natural log. You see it right there? My natural log of 5, arrow down, and then it says the natural log of 5. I guess we'll have to close that one. I don't usually close, but we've got more stuff coming. Minus, and notice it says 3, and then the natural log of 2. So the only time I even made the effort on my calculator to close it is because I had more stuff coming after it. So look, I'm not going to even close him. And then there's my answer, negative 3.42. You could do this other ways, but that way works. Okay, same thing on this one. Before I do that one, you may want to, let's go to this one. I'm going to take the log of both sides. Again, you could do the natural log or the common log. I'm just doing this every now and then so you guys don't get stuck in a rut. I'm going to take this, bring him out front. So I have this. That's what the log function does, is it brings your exponents out. This is x squared times, so I'm going to divide both sides by the log of 9. By the way, don't try to simplify here. Eek! Don't do that. So I have x squared equals the log of 15 over the log of 9. And then we know how to solve for this. We would take the square root of both sides, and we'd have two answers, the positive and the negative. So that cancels out. So here's the deal. I think on WebAssign, you have to enter this as two answers. So you're just going to enter it as the log of 15 over the log of 9, comma, and then negative the square root of the log of 15 over the log of 9. I think you have to enter it both ways. I wish they had this lazy key, but I don't think they do. Okay, when you get to this one, because this has base e, it's going to force you to use the natural log. And magical things happen, okay? But the first thing I would do is I'd move this 4 over here. So I would be adding 4 to both sides. So I have e, 5x minus 1 equals 5. Now I'm going to take the natural log of both sides, brings my exponent to the front. Typically, I wouldn't even write the natural log of e because do you remember what this equals? This equals 1, and I love that. So what I have here is 5x minus 1 equals the natural log of 5. Add 1 to both sides, boop. So I have 5x equals the natural log of 5 plus 1. That is not 6, don't even try it. And then divide both sides by 5. There you go. And that would be your answer. okay? And again, hit it in your calculator just like you see it. This is the exact answer. The approximate is when you round off that decimal. Okay, so if you've seen enough, quit. If you want to go back and we look at this one, I'm going to do the natural log just because it's one less thing I have to write. It's going to bring this out front. So I have 2x plus 1, the natural log of 7. This comes out front, 3x minus 1, natural log of 5. Then I'm going to distribute. So it gives me 2x, the natural log of 7, plus the natural log of 7. Because log of 7 times 1 is the log of 7. I'm going to distribute him into both things. So I get 3x, the natural log of 5, minus the natural log of 5. Now, anything that has an x, get him on one side. See this little x right here? So I'm going to put him over here. So he's positive on this side. When I bring him over here, he's going to be a minus. So minus 3x, the natural log of 5. You know what? I wish I would have gone that way. In fact, I'm going to. And you know why? I can change my mind. See how this one's already a minus, and then when I bring him over, he's going to be a minus? I don't like things to be so negative. So back it up. I'm going to take this guy over here to be with his friend. And let me just make sure I have enough room here. 3x, the natural log of 5, bring him over. It's going to be minus 2x, the natural log of 7. Now, when I take him over here, see how he's a minus on this side? He will be a plus on that side. So we're going to get, I really ran out of room. Okay, so I've got this. Now, do you see these two terms and they both have an x in it? Factor out that x. So you're going to pull out an x out of both terms. I just used my hands like you can see them. So that would give me 3 natural log of 5 minus, take the x out, 2 log of 7. And that's what we have. So notice that says x times, so I divide both sides by this garbage right here. And I know, it looks gross. 3, that's why I went ahead and did it. Okay, these cancel, and the goal is to get x by itself, and there's your answer. I know, it's yucky, but there it is. When you hit it in your calculator, hit it in exactly like you see it, okay? And it should give it to you.